welcome back to another podcast with my friend Aranda and my other friend Heaven Soul. Today we are going to be talking about a lot of different things. Alright? Now, first thing I want to talk about is my AK-47. She don't want to reload. No? Some people down in the comment section below, please tell me how she reload. Because I can't find, so I can't shoot my wife's mother. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, so today we talk about SpaceX launch. Anybody have comments?
Yeah, it was like spectacular.
I can assure you something, comrade.
Spectacular.
The launch of the next rocket from the Soviet Union of USSR will be a far superior piece of technology.
You think so, my friend? You think so?
We plan to attach rocket to the end of AK-47 and aim AK-47 at the moon, and we will blow up the moon.
I think we can do it, but first, the
I think
rocket...
we need the moon.
I think the first thing is the rocket must be pointy. It cannot be round like a robot's dildo, because it will look like a robot's dildo flying towards the moon. So,
I think
my
Alex
friend,
is deeply offended by this.
we will have a spear heading towards the moon. Yes?
Yes, only capital imperialist dogs make phallic-shaped rocket. The
Ladies
best
and
rocket
gentlemen, was the plot to the dictator.
Right. Welcome back to another episode of the TinCan Podcast. This episode is episode 4. Yes, we've actually made it. 4 episodes. I know, I thought we'd have been done after the first shit show, but clearly not. So, what have we got on our plate today?
5 episodes though, isn't it?
Don't know what you're talking about. But what we're going to be talking about today is...
fucking record button.
What are you talking about? But anyway, we're going to be talking about a few different things that have happened a week that are quite important and some that are not that important. Mainly the movie side and music and stuff like that. The more important stuff is the SpaceX, the riots going on, and just to find out where you guys stand with the kind of riots and protests and stuff that's been going on. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
I think we should delve deep into the SpaceX program first, and we'll leave the debating till maybe the end.
Okay.
About not obviously not
because
about the SpaceX, but about like the whole riot stuff. We'll leave that until the end.
I mean, you want to go
Yeah.
to space?
Because I know that I know a couple of yous are like Elon Musk fans, or and all I know about the SpaceX launch is that it has something to do with getting to Mars. It's supposed to be like the first step in getting us to Mars by the end of the century. So it's like, do you have anything to expand on that and educate me on that matter?
There may be some education needed.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
it's quite a historically important step into getting us to Mars, and he aims to get us there by roughly 2030. So we'll probably get there by 2040, because usually Elon is like a decade late with timelines.
Yeah.
All right.
For example, the
important
cars.
thing is- yeah, the important thing is like this is the first actual human launch from American soil since the space shuttle stopped operating
Since
back in
2011.
Yeah. So it's finally happened. America's it's been a weird week for America, hasn't it? When you consider that.
Yeah,
yeah.
to be honest, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's great. I mean, it's great that it's happened. I mean, it shows that sort of the structure that they're going for, which is sort of a partnership between private companies and the public association of NASA, seems to work, and like actual progress is being made. Good positive news for SpaceX definitely this week, because their other test of the Starhopper, which is the actual ship that they intend to take us to the moon and Mars on, may have blown up a little bit. So,
Oh, all right. Holy shit! I didn't hear about that.
yeah, thankfully though, the
There's nobody in it.
well, yeah, obviously, like, it's a test rocket. Not going to go, well, listen, John, we're paying you $100 a year to possibly get blown up. Sitting there, and if you smell gas, run. So, I mean, thankfully, the Falcon rockets and the Dragon space capsule didn't blow up, and they did impart those astronauts safely onto the International Space Station, and hopefully they will safely return them.
One thing I will add, though, is that they did have a bit of a bumpy ride coming into stage 2, and this is because I was watching a video on them. So I think it was the day after them actually landing at the space station and stuff like that. They had an interview, and they were going through, or they were getting questioned from people from Earth to like what was different from the first time they went up, because these two people that went up like a couple of days ago actually went up like in 2011.
Yeah, they've been up twice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Been up twice.
So they were getting questioned, asked like what was different from 2011 and what was but between 2011 and now, and they said that it was liquid fuel used in this one heading up, and it wasn't in the other one. And so when they took off, it was a lot smoother, but when they got into stage 2, it was a little bit harder, and they were like, I don't remember this happening in the last launch that they went up, because again, it was the two same men that went up. Let me just mute that. It was the two same men that went up in 2011 went up like a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
So they were like, yeah, no, I don't remember this happening, but apparently they were very verbal in what they experienced. They were up there for about 19 to 20 hours before they actually connected with the space station itself. And then I did see a video of them opening the hatch and being reunited with the crew that was up there. Now, another thing to quickly add is that they left a flag, an American flag, up there in 2011 that was then bagged and kept right beside. Bagged. It was, I say bagged, but it was more of a sleeve. It was then sleeved and then left beside the hatch with a note on it saying, do not forget to give to, and then whatever their names were. So they had a plan to like get up there, retrieve that flag and take it back home, and it actually came up as one of the questions as to like, are they going to be able to take that flag home? So the big thing to take from this is that they left the flag up there 9 years ago. They got the flag and they're going to take it home.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sure that's the thing to take from the other important technological.
No. It's like they didn't really have much to say. They like with the stage 2, they said it was a bit different, but again, it was expected. They said because of the fact that it was a bit of a different fuel used
basically it's a mixture of like basically liquid oxygen and methane.
Yeah.
That kept the cryogenic temperatures to keep them nice and cool. I'd also say probably a lot of the reason for that extra sort of shakiness in stage 2 is it's like the space station was a fucking massive vehicle when you compare it to like the Dragon capsule. So like it's really quite a bit smaller. Like the space shuttle, it's a big motherfucker. So yeah, I think it's great. I think it's great that it was a success. I mean, I think if something bad happens, it's going to be extremely bad because it's going to set things back about a decade. I think potentially. I could be wrong on that, but I think it would. You know, it's important to keep the public opinion towards space travel positive if we are to reach some sort of goal where we get to Mars.
Yeah.
And I think
can I just add to that? So the only thing that, like, the only way of it going wrong now is on the flight back, obviously.
Yeah.
Now, there was a few videos posted online of a few of the crafts actually landing back to Earth and landing fine. Now,
Yeah, they're useful rockets, yeah.
now could that be just a thing where it was like 1 in every 1,000, or 1 in every 100, or 1 in every 50? Who knows? Who knows how many tests they've done? I'm not too sure how many tests they've done, but
Well, like with the reusable
yeah, they'll know.
rockets,
But
they have that pretty much down.
yeah,
It's
But-
very rare that they do use a reusable rocket, but the the pod is very different from that. Like the capsule is very different in how it lands. Like it's like a more advanced, basically Apollo capsule. You know, it's not going to
Yeah.
land in the same way. It's not going to land itself. It's just ideally it's going to plop into water at some point.
well, to be quite honest, you would have thought that they would have taken the weight. They would have taken the weight of it. They would have taken, like, including the passengers on it, obviously, yeah, and then actually like put it through to find out, you know, is it going to come back safe enough, that kind of way. So,
Yeah, they've done
like,
tests.
like, I would nearly say that, but like, my question here was like, at what % is that? Do you know what I mean? So
I
is
don't know.
it every 1 millionth that doesn't come through, or?
Well, I mean, the thing is, like, rockets are expensive,
Mm-hmm.
so like
So they can't
Test
make
that
a million
over
of them. Yeah.
you can't make enough to have like a decent percentage. I mean, like they've tested the sort of system that is meant to save the astronauts, and they did that by like blowing up one of the rockets on purpose to see if it was okay, and it was okay in that, and that was in the worst case situation going up. I think going down is probably a lot safer, but like everything else, it's space travel, you know.
Yeah.
Nothing's ever like 100% in that, or even close to it, I would say. You know, I'd say Lady Luck plays a key role in it as much as good science does.
I'd just like to add that when I was actually listening to the videos of these guys up there in the space station, that I, like, myself, when they were talking, I don't know if anybody else felt like this, but I felt like when he was talking about certain things that I was just a dumb cunt. Like, there was certain things that when he talked, like,
they're astronauts.
yeah, no,
They're intelligent people.
No,
so
I-
they're gonna know a lot.
no, I understand that, but at the same time, I just felt like such a dumb cunt. Like,
Yeah.
like
Maybe
I
it's
just,
who you are.
it could be, but I just felt stupid. Like, I just felt really, really stupid, and it just made me feel like, yo, if you want to really understand this, you got to go and fucking learn about this, and like, it's kind of something that I've. Let's just say after the whole thing, I like done a bit of research on a few things that I wasn't sure about, and that I'm kind of intrigued to like maybe learn a bit more.
I mean, if you are like really interested in sort of learning sort of rocketry and the science of like escaping orbit, Kerbal Space Program is a great game to play. It's like it's a game and half a learning tool as well.
Because you know your boy wants to make an Iron Man suit, like.
Sorry.
yeah.
using an element that doesn't exist.
Don't worry. What do we say about elements that don't exist? We'll create them. Exactly.
Yeah, no.
Exactly.
But I just want to. I just want to.
Watching this, just going, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, for fuck's sake. The most realistic superhero you can possibly be is Batman. Get it fucking in your head. Legit, that's what I was thinking. Sorry, Aaron, about interrupting. But legit, like for the past couple of days, the only superhero I was thinking about that you could legitimately be, if you had enough money, would be Batman.
You could be Green Arrow. He's basically Batman light, is he not?
Yeah, but it's like the most powerful you could possibly be would be Batman
Maybe.
with all the gadgets.
Yeah, I feel like him and Green Arrow probably had the same on the power scale. Maybe.
Nah, definitely not.
He doesn't.
Definitely not. Batman would
I
just overthink. But anyway, yeah, go on.
Yeah, I'm trying to say is, let me speak, goddammit! But I just want to get a grasp on, like, so the main purpose of the SpaceX launch? Was it to go up and get that flag?
No,
Or was it
no.
something else completely?
So the main
What
purpose was
was the main purpose of that launch?
the main purpose was to prove that we can do it after 9 years. So they took
Okay.
a break because of the fact that they tried to send a rocket up, but it like blew up or something. Was it, Mark?
So
If
basically,
I'm correct in saying that.
what happened was they used the space shuttle before. Basically, what they're doing is they're bringing the astronauts up to the ISS to perform scientific experiments and work on the International Space Station. So they used to use the space shuttle for this. This is how the Americans did it. Russia did it through the I can't remember the name of the Russian rockets, probably some fucking Russian simple name. Soyuz, it's the Soyuz rocket, which is from the 70s. But basically, the shuttle had a lot of problems. Like, it's quite expensive for a usable vehicle, and it got old. And it did explode once. Columbia did explode, and 12 lives were lost, or 14 lives were lost in it. So what was sort of proven here is that with SpaceX's technology of reusable rockets, which is sort of the new great thing, having these rocket stages come back down there and be able to use again, can safely transport humans up there. The basics of, this is how SpaceX are going to start to make a lot more money, and then this is going to sort of morph into sort of a more moon-based program. It's not the Apollo program, it's the Artemis program, where basically it'll be the first stage of the rocket that will take us to Mars, which is called the Starhopper. Will first take people to the moon. But NASA obviously has their own rocket as well to do that, which is called the SLS. There's a couple of other rockets from Blue Origin as well, which is Jeff Bezos' effort to it, but they're kind of shit. Because Bezos doesn't really have his heart in it like Elon does, and he's nowhere near smart. So basically, it's just proven that we can take people up there safely, securely, and relatively economically, and that this technology does work. And the eventual hope is then to take civilians up to there and to sort of commercialize it and make it a lot, more convenient, safer, and more prosperous. So that was the goal, and hopefully it's a success.
So basically, the stepping stones from this point on is, eventually getting normal, your average person up there and commercializing it, and then the next steps would probably be getting more people up, and then the next step after that would be getting further away from Earth, and then further and further, and then eventually maybe to the moon, and then maybe to Mars, whichever direction is whatever direction is
further than the International Space Station, because you're just orbiting and you can't really tell. Like, they'll probably do a fair amount of trips to the ISS, and then they'll move on to the moon. And probably get really good at going to the moon. I would think they'd be interested in sort of setting up some sort of moon base. Like, I'd say that's definitely within the cards now. And then obviously once we get moon down, we're going to go to Mars, hopefully by the end of the decade. I'm not sure if that's possible, but like what this is basically doing is
the end of the decade.
The end of this decade, yeah.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Yeah,
not a hope. I don't think that's happening.
I mean, I hope more than anything that is the case, but I doubt that, unfortunately. So yeah, but
I think what I heard is a little more realistic. The end of the century sounds a little more realistic.
We'll be before the end of the century. We'll be there before the end of the century. Like, if you like SpaceX, like if you look at the level of development they're doing, and like they continue at this pace even remotely, like they'll have us there, like not by the end of the decade, but maybe in 15, 20 years, definitely. If they keep like the pace that they are making and innovating stuff is like this company was formed not 10 years ago. Do you know what I mean? Like, or it was 2008, but they really only hit their stride around 2014. Got rocket technology down like for 6 years to get from just the basic rocket technology and building it from the ground up to then taking human beings into space and back to space is very impressive. So I think the end of the century, that's far too pessimistic to be. I think definitely before the end of the century, well before it, I'd hope. I'd say definitely before 2050. Probably you're going to look at the mid-2030s, and hopefully before 2040. By some miracle, maybe be 2030, but I doubt it. But I mean, the main thing that this achieves is America now has the ability to send humans back into space, which is something that they've not had the ability to do for about a decade now, because they had to rely on old Russian rockets. So it's great. It's really good. Like when I watched the launch live. I felt like quite hopeful about it. Because things have been very stagnant there for I'd say not just a decade, but for 2 decades. And at the end of the day, I agree with Elon's goals. We need to be a multi-planet species.
Oh yeah.
The next.
The planet's dying. Like.
Yeah, but you see, the thing there is, right, it's not going to be like it's not going to be one extra planet. It's going to be however many planets we need because of reproduction. Because we're just all taking the piss with it. We're just all going getting
the
pregnant.
Going up. Like,
too many people fucking and too many stupid people fucking.
Oh yeah, way too many stupid people fucking.
And I suppose it does make sense that Elon doesn't want to get us to Mars, before he dies. But
yeah,
because
but what you got to realize is that when Elon dies, that's not it. There's going to be somebody else out there that's either smarter.
I'm sure he's gonna
groom
someone to follow his footsteps.
But either there's going to be somebody out there smarter, or there's going to be somebody out there on the same level as him that wants the same thing.
So.
If anything, there's going to be somebody out there smarter.
I mean, we went many years without someone like Elon to come along, and Elon's the only person at the moment doing it. Like, out of all the people with massive amounts of wealth, he's the only person that's actually pushing for this. And I'd argue like he's the only person that's actually putting his massive wealth to good use.
Yeah, but I mean like smarter as in like knowing. Like
it's not just,
do you know that it's I don't mean like the pushing of
out there on like it's not just like intelligence.
But no, but I mean in that category. Do you know
even in that category, there's smarter people than Elon out there. There is definitely. But what Elon is good at is like building, like coming up with new innovative ideas, getting the companies to be profitable, getting the end product that's good and successful out there, and managing people very well. And like just being like taking like managing both those companies back from the brink and bringing them both into two of the in their sectors. Tesla and EVs, and even cars is probably the industry leader right now, and SpaceX is definitely the industry leader in space technology. I don't know. I think he's a once in a generation guy, definitely. And once he goes, like I hope there's someone to step in to replace him. But I'm kind of doubtful.
Well, like you said, he's a once in a generation guy. Like we've never had anybody on that can before. But since we got him, he might inspire some people that might do what he's doing.
Yeah, I mean, there was, the only guy that was comparable to that guy was actually the first head of NASA. I've forgotten his name. I'm going to quickly Google it. But he was actually a Nazi, and actually committed.
All right.
He actually committed horrible war crimes. But TinCan Glennon or something like that. Yeah, he was sort of I'm not sure if that's him. I think because that's not really a German name. Oh yeah, it's Werner von Braun. That's what Werner von Braun. He was the guy who came up with the V2 rockets, I think, and he worked very much so on like Nazi Germany's rocket program. He was a pretty fucking nasty dude. He was the guy that got the Yanks to space. So he would be the closest equivalent to Elon, but obviously, not really. He's a fucking Nazi and a pretty unchill dude, and he really only specializes.
So he's not a dude to look up to.
No, you can admire his intelligence and what he achieved, but you've also got to, you can also resolve that he was probably a fucking terrible human being, But what I'm saying is, like, even when you compare him, who is sort of like the closest guy in the field of rocketry, like I just specialize in rocketry, whereas Elon, he's doing the rocketry, which is SpaceX. He's doing Tesla, which is like automobiles and cars and EVs and battery technology and production line technology as well. He's got Solar City, he's got the Boring Company, and he's got Neuralink. And Neuralink is like very heavy going. I mean, that's like implanting computers into brains and having a brain-computer interface and sort of curing like sort of diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and stuff like that. Like, I don't think, like, I hope to God that like there's someone else like him to come along after him, but I don't think you're going to get anyone like him. Like, he's whatever it is about him, he's not the most intelligent guy, but something about his leadership and the way he builds companies and the way he builds innovative ideas and gets people together and the finances together to make all of them to become like a practical, tangible reality. Like, I think he's a once in maybe 200 or 500 years guy.
He's an influential dude from what I've noticed.
Yeah. He gets a lot of shit, and don't get me wrong, like he does stupid things on Twitter. It's like the rest of us, he's human, you know, he does stupid shit on Twitter. But like when you compare him to other billionaires, you're like, what? Like, does he actually deserve the ridiculous amount of money that he has? And the answer is yes, because he does crazy hard things, makes them possible, makes great products, and is driving us forward as a species. Whereas, what's Bezos doing? Selling cheap shit and treating his workers
pretty
like
much
shit.
it.
You know, what did Bill Gates do with all his money? Like, he's not achieved much. Like, he set up this charity which has barely been able to get rid of fucking Ebola in a small region of Africa. Do you know what I mean? Like, I reckon if he directed Musk at that problem, it'd be solved by now.
Well, he's a cool dude. And all them did you all watch the launch?
I didn't watch the launch
because I didn't watch it. I was at work, but I've seen the white stream in the sky on my way home from work.
I didn't watch it.
I watched the Scrub live and I was quite disappointed, and then I watched the actual launch live, which is like, it's really nervous because you're like, I know you're not there, and they're like, they're not people you know, but like you're watching a thing, like this could blow up. This could blow up, and I could be watching it, and it's really weird. And it's like, you know, if this goes wrong, what's the connotations for like space travel? And like,
yeah, but you got to realize that your TV or wherever you're watching it on, it's gonna be delayed by however many seconds they've set. So, for example, if they've set 30 or if they've set 60, they can easily just cancel it off, and you'll never see a thing.
Yeah.
So if it did blow up,
that's probably true. I mean, but they didn't do that for Colombia, I don't think. I'm not sure. I mean, you could have watched like
but they'd have learned.
You could have watched other third-party YouTubers that had cameras angled at it, and then certain other
yeah, that definitely would have been possible. That
there's certain other YouTubers that like when they run their live stream, they're analyzing both the footage that came in of NASA and SpaceX, and then these third-party YouTubers with their like cameras in the field to sort of get get the best view of content, you know what I mean, and actually see what's actually going on as best you can, which I thought was like a very, very good way to present the launch, you know, journalistically, like how to cover it and get both sides. But I think, you know, all in all, it's a really great thing. It's been successful so far. I hope it continues to be successful. And it's not, we fucking need this. Like, in this year, we need good shit. Like, 2020 has been like a not one of the year.
Yeah, but have you seen? Have you seen?
We're at the halfway point, and it's been god awful so far. So.
Have you seen? let me just grab it here. Let me just get it up here. Where is it? I took a screenshot of it. I'm really sure. So it says Congo. I don't know if you can see it, but I'll read it. Congo declares new Ebola epidemic 1,000 kilometers from eastern outbreak. And then the caption is, our kid Corona called in backup.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a shitty year.
It has.
And there's something else I want to mention. Alex, do you have any thoughts on the situation? Because you've been quiet as hell. That'll be a no.
I don't know if he
I
can
didn't
even
hear
hear
anything when you said. You fucking lagged.
Okay. Well, the question was, what are your thoughts on this whole SpaceX launch thing? Because you have been very quiet.
Cool.
Great description. Great description. We love it.
Rocket's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool.
They slap a big tittied anime girl on the side of that thing. I might be.
Oh, then I'm all over it. Yeah, definitely. 100%. Absolutely.
They call the rocket going to the moon Sailor Moon. Alex is all over that shit.
Riding that all the way.
I've seen it in Armageddon. I've seen it in Armageddon. I've seen it in Deep Impact. I've seen it in Interstellar. I've seen it all over the place. I don't need to see it again. Fuck off.
The thing is, if you tweeted Elon to do that, he would fucking do it. He would do it for the memes. He would fucking do that.
Yeah, that's the thing that's the thing is with Elon, he plays up to popularity. So, like, and I'll explain what I mean. So like, if something like, for example, you wanted anime titties printed on the side of the fucking space, what are they called in the shuttle?
It's not a shuttle. Oh, you talking about the one that's going to go to Mars?
Yeah.
They're calling it Star Hopper for the moment.
Star Hopper, yeah. So if you wanted anime titties printed on the side of that, Elon would be like, he'd wait until he has so many people like tweeting him about doing it, and then he'd be like, yeah, I'll do it for the fucking memes. He'd be like, yeah, do you know what? Fuck it. What's better than a plain old Star Hopper fucking spacecraft coming to Mars than a fucking spacecraft with anime titties coming to Mars?
Exactly.
Well, you see, he couldn't do that, but he wouldn't be able to broadcast it on TV. That's the thing.
Yeah, he would. Yeah, he would. 100%. People wouldn't give a fuck.
Problem is,
they would.
Well, I think the networks would.
The spacecraft then attract interdimensional space tentacle monsters. That's the question now.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, with them anime titties.
Oh no.
Anybody want to add anything else to that?
No. I think we can move on from that. We've said pretty much everything we need to say.
Yeah, is that it? Yeah. All right. Well, moving on from, like, actually, more than likely taking a 180 from the whole, success. Let's talk about the riots.
The riots and the protests in America.
The protests in America.
Holy shit.
Now, can I just add that I've seen quite a number of videos out there of
so have I.
protests taking place and bricks being placed in certain areas, and it looking like people are trying to set up people and stuff like that. That this whole protest is like, my thought on this protest is it began as a proper protest, and then the US government, seen that it was again one of their own, so decided to put in place a plan to make it look like the people that were peacefully protesting had started like a war within like the government and stuff there. So like, apparently there's photos and videos of a street with no construction on it, and a few hours go past, and then there's another photo of literally just bricks been placed down on a pallet in that same street. And I've been like looking around, and a lot of people are calling it out as like the government doing it to kind of get people to like throw bricks at shops and stuff like that and like vandalize, just so that they can fucking make the protest kind of swerve away from it being from the origin, which is
George Floyd.
Yeah, a cop knelt on George Floyd and killed him.
Yeah.
And
well,
and they're trying to deflect everything away from that to now like, George Floyd, he was a week ago. He doesn't matter. Where I think what everybody's trying to get at now, with the way that there is like a lot of vandalism and everything going on, is like that enough's enough. We have tried standing and protesting with plaques and whatever else, saying Black Lives Matter and stuff like that. It hasn't worked. We've tried protesting outside the White House. It doesn't work. Nothing's worked. But now that we're vandalizing things, you're hearing us. You're seeing us. When you come and talk to us, we're not beating you up. when we're vandalizing things, and then you come and talk to us, and then we prove or make our point, you're now hearing us, kind of thing. Where it's like before, when we were outside, literally outside your window, shouting Black Lives Matter, you never once wanted to come and talk to us or about us. And now you can't get enough of us.
I get that point.
Yeah.
What I will say about the vandalism is, I think that is a valid form of protest, but I think it's been directed towards the wrong people. I think it's been directed towards small business owners who have been hard enough hit in the current climate.
Yeah.
I think where the vandalism should be directed for is towards police and public buildings.
Yeah, which
I don't agree with that.
Which when they done the precincts, 3 of them to be exact, they've burnt down. I think there may be more, but I know of 3. 3 they have 100% burnt down. Now, when they done that, I was like, right, that is making an argument. That is proving a point. That is going at what the issue is. When you go at small businesses like a corner shop that sells fucking sweets and shit like that, that does not make any sense. It doesn't prove any points. It doesn't do any of that shit. You're now just taking the piss out of the whole thing. If you stay with burning down precincts, if you stay with... Now, I'm not saying go out and burn down precincts, because I know how YouTube's going to be with this video. They're going to be like, oh, we gotta cancel this video or whatever. I'm not saying to go and burn down precincts, but what I'm saying is target the right people. Don't target the wrong people, because you're going to do it anyway. There's no point in me saying, oh, you shouldn't do it. Just stop. You're hurting people. No. If you target the right people. Now, I'm not saying kill anybody. I'm not saying harm anybody. But what I mean by target the right people is a precinct. You can burn down a building as long as it doesn't harm anybody. It's not harming anybody, because the government will just find a way to fucking rebuild it back up. The building itself will be covered, but it's what that message stands for. Burning down that building. Which I agree with. But
I don't necessarily agree with the vandalism, but I think if you're to give in terms of how valid is the argument becomes a lot less valid, and the protests become a lot less legitimate when they go and just randomly burn down and wreck small businesses. And that, some poor fucking Armenian dude probably owns that, and it's all his life savings are fucking in that thing. He didn't go fucking support police brutality and shit like that. He has nothing to do with it. Yeah. Burning police cars and shit like that. It's not great, but the argument has to be made at what point are people going to sit back and take notice? And sometimes it does take some violence to do that, unfortunately. Some would argue that they wouldn't be at this point if the authorities had a listen. I mean, they wouldn't be at this point if they just put the cops in jail and charged the guy who murdered him with first-degree murder, and the guys who, survived.
It didn't intervene,
with a similar. I don't know what I think it's second-degree murder.
Second-degree murder.
Or manslaughter, maybe.
It was third-degree murder he got charged for.
Yeah, that should be first-degree murder. The dude choked him out. The argument against the violence, this violence could have been avoided if you just throw the dude in fucking jail. It's not a hard argument. There's 10 minutes of video footage of him killing.
Can I just say what they didn't do? Right? What they didn't do is blame the cop. What they did do is turn around and try and blame it on this guy's medical reasons. Tried to say that, oh yes, this guy had an underlying heart condition. If this guy had an underlying heart condition and you were the cop that has been dealing with him for years, you would have known this, yes? But the fact that he had an underlying heart condition isn't going to... it didn't cause him to die. What caused him to die was you kneeling on the back of his neck and seeing him at that angle on the floor just proves that it was you that killed him. Doesn't matter if he had an underlying heart condition. Doesn't matter if he had a fucking broke toe. The fact is, you killed him with your knee in the back of his fucking neck.
And here's the thing. Here's the thing. Because
go.
this dude was a big dude, and all we seen in the video was the one dude kneeling on him. We didn't see two other cops behind the car lying on him. Because this dude was a big bloke. If it was just the one dude lying on his neck, he probably could have, got your man off of him. But there was two other lads. Nobody has seen their faces. Nobody knows who they are. We've only seen the Chinese dude.
But Aaron,
the Asian dude.
That's not the thing. One. The thing, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. There's been cops that have actually spoken out about this and said, look, we are never taught to put in our knees on the back of somebody's fucking throat. Yep. We have never been taught to do that. And this cop goes and does it. And then this video comes out. There's a video of a sheriff from some county, I'm not sure where he comes out to this protest, and it's like, I'm not too sure if it is, but he walks with them. He walks with these people. So he does. And the speech that he gives before walking with them, it's inspirational. And to be quite fair, if I was in the situation of I've had enough with this government, they haven't listened to us at all, and then this guy comes out and he's like, look, we hear you. We've been muted by authorities above us to not acknowledge you, but we're acknowledging you right now, and we're walking with you, and we're going to stand by you. And this guy that has done this wrong, that should have got hell of a lot more than what he got, hasn't been given what he got. We will stand by you until he has been brought to justice. And once that's done, that's it over. Now, this guy, when he's talking and giving his speech out, you feel that energy. I know he didn't say that word for word, but you feel that energy within him. Just going off, what the way he's shouting to the crowd, and the way the crowd's shouting back and stuff like that, and they go and walk with the crowd and things. You do feel that kind of energy with them. So to that sheriff, I tip my hat to you, sir, because there's not a lot of people out there that would actually do that.
And because of that, actually, I don't think the protests in Flint turned violent at all.
Yeah, possibly not.
And there's something else I wanted to mention, because I seen a video. It was in a city. I don't know what city it was, because there was a whole load of videos of a bunch of different places with the police walking down the street, trying to control the protesters and the rioters. And there was a video of two separate people being tackled down to the ground. They're on their stomachs, and there was two separate people being arrested, and there was cops doing the exact same thing, kneeling on their necks. And all you hear in the video is a bunch of people shouting and screaming at them, "Get off his neck!" And it's just because if they're not taught to kneel on people's necks, just these yokes are just doing it out of badness. And then there was another video that just shows one dude doing the fucking the white supremacy, white power sign, I think that there, something like that there. And it's just taking fists and laughing at it. And can I just say, right? Trampling over a girl. And
can I just say, right? I do not agree with this sign. This here, with it being white supremacy. I don't give a fuck. This means I'm okay. I don't give a fuck what else you see with this. I don't care.
No, that's not
it is. It
had three fingers on it.
Aaron, it is this because it's W, and then they look at that as a P.
Right.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck what you think about that. To me, that means I'm okay. If I'm underwater, scuba diving, and somebody goes, I'm not going to be like, I'm offended. Oh my god. Oh my god. Do you know what I mean?
That's just
do you know what I mean? It's no, that means okay, and In what world can that mean white supremacy? Unless you're standing with a fucking Hitler tattoo, or Nazi tattoo, sorry, on your face, or chest, or wherever, and you're standing there, like, just, Hail Hydra, or Hail Hydra, but you get what you get what I mean, like, you get what I mean, like the whole hail, like, no,
Face red.
no,
Really go for it.
no, but you know what I mean, like just fucking hailing the fucking Nazis, like, do you know what I mean? It's like, our Mark, we can't really hear you properly, but like, from this to turn to white supremacy is just absolutely ridiculous behavior. Like, you would have to be actually dumb in the head to turn this into white supremacy. Like, I don't know, were you bored that day that you just were like, oh fuck, that looks like a W, that looks like a P when you turn it sideways, oh, it's a white fucking supremacy sign. Now, I do understand, maybe back in the old days they used this for something, I don't know, I don't give a fuck, I'm not using it for that, I don't care about that, I'm using it because I'm okay, alright? And if people out there don't fucking agree with it, fuck off. I don't need you in my life. Like, if you understand what I use it for,
just do that.
Thumbs up. You should understand that I'm using it because I'm alright. I'm not doing it as a white supremacy thing. There's no backup thing in my mind where I'm thinking, oh, white supremacy, I'm okay. No, it just means, to me, it just means okay. I don't care what you all think out there, like, about it. That's just my take on it. But yeah,
I'm under the impression you've been accused of being a white supremacist after doing that or something.
No, I've never been accused of it.
That sounded like a very passionate speech there.
It's a passionate speech because of the fact that it's a simple thing turned into something it's not, so that people can kind of have one over somebody.
Yeah, it's a symbol that most people are like...
Like, what are you going to turn this into, like? Do you know what I mean? Oh, that's a W. Fuck off.
Yeah, like in most cultures, in Western cultures, that means okay. That means okay.
Yeah.
That's used within special forces.
The only place that would come up with this shite about this being white supremacy is fucking America. And you must be so fucking dumb, like, to be quite honest. I'm like, right, let's just
all Americans, like, and
no, obviously not all. Obviously not all, but I just mean America overall, like.
Let's not, like, similar to, let's not insult all Americans. Like, let's not bully all police officers, because not all of them are racist cunts. But
no, they're not.
All the ones we've seen in these videos have been absolute bastards. Because I like just some of the videos I've seen, man.
Just a quick one. I'm gonna nip to the toilet. You just keep going.
Okay. Goodbye, Nathan. But I've seen videos of just a big crowd in front of a car with a barricade in front of the car, and the car just rammed through the crowd, pushing a bunch of people. There was another one of a girl just standing with a sign, looking at a police officer up on a horse, and then another police officer on a horse comes from behind her and tramples over her.
Jesus Christ.
And there's another video of a bunch of riot controllers walking down a very quiet, peaceful street, just shouting, screaming, stay inside. And there's these young ones, on their doorstep, just right beside the front door, recording a video of them coming down the street. And the police officers just started shouting at them, go inside, and after about saying that 2 times, and after they wouldn't do it, they just shot rubber bullets at them.
Yeah, like some dude
on their own doorstep. It's just like it's just.
Yeah, like, I think in America you have rights to stand your ground there, like with self-defense and weapons, but obviously that wouldn't end well.
Yeah, and there's a bunch of people. Like, there was another story of a girl walking home with her groceries. She got shot in the face with a rubber bullet, pouring blood. And another story, there was a dude on the leg, got hit in the leg with a rubber bullet, and this girl who is medically trained went to try and help him, but she started getting rubber balls fired at her, and he's there bleeding out, but she couldn't do anything. She couldn't help him because she was being attacked. So she had to go. She had to leave, and who knows? That dude could be dead now because she mentioned he was losing a lot of blood, and there was so many people shot in the face, and so many people like there was another one that went blind in one eye because they're aiming there. It's just like they're not supposed to be aiming at your face, but so many people are getting shot in the face. It's like it's obviously intentional.
Yeah.
There's just so many concepts there.
Like there was a story in like New York where like he was like an ex-Marine vet, and he like came back and he joined the protest. He got shot in the head with a bullet and actually caused like a bleed on his brain and shit like that. You know, those things are gnarly.
Yeah.
It's nuts though. I mean, like you're like fuck. You look at that country like fucking like 3 months ago, and you're like, you know, things are okay. Like things are fine here, but then like you go and like. You forget as well, like this is all happening in like the background of a fucking like pandemic as well, and it's like, what's this gonna do to like rates of infection and stuff like that? And you know,
it's like it's a shambles over there right now. It's a fucking shambles, and they could have avoided all of this if they had just fucking put your man away, charged him with first degree murder.
It's very simple to do that. You know, it's a very simple thing. I mean, one way it's a lesson. It's like how fickle, you know, civilized society is. Do you know what? It does, like, there's 3 pushes there, you know. I'd say all it took was like, right, the push of the pandemic, and people are locked up, people are like economically hurting from this, and they're pent up and they're not happy. Then you've got like the 2 racist killings of like people, of minority people, and then you have people rioting, and you know, civil life's gone down the fucking toilet. It's like fuck, like it's fickle. It's a fickle, like that could happen here. There's a story about the UK where, you know, there was this sort of petrol price thing, and sort of workers were on strike and they couldn't get in to get petrol out of the refineries in the UK. And then, you know, diesel started going scarce. And after 4 days, like people started to get fucking sketchy, man. Like that was 3 days. Like there used to be fights over fucking petrol in fucking at petrol stations, you know, and you know, stocks were falling down in stock markets. You know, people are losing jobs. It's like we forget because we're like born in it and surrounded by it, and we open our eyes to that. You know, civilization is fucking fragile, and it's you know, it's fragile in somewhere like the US, where like, let's be honest, they were like the superpower of the world. It used to be. You know, but all it takes is like a couple of little
They're laughing
things.
stock now.
Yeah, a couple of little things just tip the scale in the wrong way. A couple of bad decisions, and you're in boo-boo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Very much in boo-boo. You know, it's like you gotta hand it to those prepper people. Like you're like fucking right. Like it's a very fickle thing. Civilization. I think that's one thing like the US is like showing right now. It's fickle. It's very fickle. That could, you know. Doesn't take a lot to change the system that we're in to something that could be quite nasty. So yeah,
and just when you think it's not bad enough that they're, you know, doing all of that shit to civilians, reporters are getting arrested. And another video I seen,
I was just about to CNN dude.
Not the CNN dude, but yeah, he got arrested. Him and his crew got arrested, and then just got released. And they weren't told why they were arrested; they were just released. And there was another video, some dude reporting, representing a network I've never heard of. I can't remember the name of the network, but he was saying to the police officers, "Right, I'm the reporter. I'm from so and so," and he just said, "I don't care. Get down." Handcuffed him. He was on the ground, not doing anything. Hands behind his back. And for no reason, absolutely no reason, he wasn't resistant. He wasn't doing anything. Just pepper sprayed him for the crack. Like it's just
fucking nasty, man. As well, like people, like if you actually see it on a person, like that shit fucking hurts. Like that is like it's meant to disable you. Like it's horrific.
And you can tell these are all just young adrenaline junkies. Just like, oh my god, I can do this now. I can do this and get away with it. Like, well, this is a rush. I'm going to do all of this. I'm going to have so much fun.
To play a little bit of devil's advocate, I would say that there is a small proportion who are young lads, and they see this mob of people come towards them, and they're fucking terrified. And in that like terrified moment, that maybe they've not been trained enough to make some piss poor decisions as well. I'm just saying.
It's not really an excuse. Hey, your police force isn't trained.
Yeah, it's not trained. I mean, like, look, they've made wrong call after wrong call after.
Like
wrong
it's yeah.
Like, it's not an excuse, but it's a contributing factor to like dissecting where has it gone wrong.
They've got less restrictions on use of force in the fucking military half the time.
I think you're right there as well.
Hilarious.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Because it is one thing to be a young bloke scared there's a crowd coming towards you, so you react.
But they give
violently.
you a gun and an excuse to use it.
Yeah.
But if you're using your weapons, if you're being violent without being provoked, if somebody's just standing in front of you, not doing anything, and you just decide to remove their mask and pepper spray them, which is another video I've seen. And just arrest reporters who have a right to be there to be reporting it, and just pepper spray them, put them down on the ground, pepper spray that, and then trample over people, then shoot people in the faces with rubber bullets. Like, I'd say the young ones are probably among that crowd, shooting random people in the face with rubber bullets because they're scared shitless of everything else going on.
Yeah, I mean, look, it could be hate motivated as well. I mean, do you think, is there a way out of this right now? I mean, I don't think Trump has anywhere near the level head to calm down. If anything, he's doubled down on it. I think
honestly, this is what I noticed, because with all of this shit going on, like the big thing with Trump right now is he's having an argument with Twitter because they've started fact checking tweets, and apparently he's tweeted a few things that were very incorrect, and Twitter sort of corrected him about it, and he said, "Oh no, that is correct," and blah blah blah. Like, he's not happy with Twitter.
The only thing I'll say is
that's what's going on in his world right now.
The only thing I want to add to that is have they fact checked CBC?
I mean, they should be fact checking everyone, but when you get down to the actual bare nose fact of it, is that
no.
No.
Have they fact checked CBC?
I don't know. I'm not going into that. The thing I'm concerned about, he claims it's censorship. I claim it's not, because censorship involves removing the message and not displaying it and preventing it from being seen. They're not doing that.
Well, no, they are.
How are they doing that? Are they taking the tweets down?
Yeah.
Well, they didn't take his tweets down. They sort of just put a censor thing over it that you can choose to see.
They deleted it. There was a photo on Twitter. No, it's not censorship. If they're fact checking, it can still lie under fact checking. If the facts are wrong, then they can still take it down under fact checking. It's not censorship then. Well, then you could write that it's my freedom of speech to say the fucking moon's blue. Like, do you know what I mean?
It's within his rights of freedom of speech to say something that's wrong.
Freedom of speech is an opinion, but he's stating facts as if they're facts, but they're not facts. They're wrong.
To state wrong facts, but they are free to correct
facts
them or say
facts
these need fact change.
That are wrong. I'm just confused.
Like, within free speech, he's allowed to lie. But within their free speech, they're allowed to correct him. You know, they're allowed to go that this is. At the end of the day, like,
so correct him by replying to his fucking tweet.
Or I don't know. I mean, like, they could be trying something on him.
It's their platform. He's on it. They have a right.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, if he wanted to, he could shut all shit down.
I mean, not really. I mean, he could shut them down in America, but let's be honest, they just go, well, we're kind of based in Ireland anyway for tax reasons, so fuck you.
Who is it? Twitter?
The rich. What?
Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter.
Yeah, Twitter.
Yeah, but like not the actual internet itself. Google.
Like, you couldn't shut that down. Like, yeah, you could.
No, but he could force Google not to not to find Twitter, for example.
How's he gonna force Google?
And then, like, he'll find a way. Come on, like.
No, he won't.
If he doesn't like something, he'll fucking do it. He will.
Like, Google doesn't give a fuck.
Dude, don't worry about Trump. Trump will find a way to stir the pot so everybody turns again. Fucking Twitter, man. Don't worry about that.
I mean, like, then where is he going to tweet from?
It doesn't matter where he's going to tweet from. He doesn't. He doesn't.
As much as he needs.
He doesn't. He doesn't. You can post anything on YouTube.
Yeah, but he's not going to post on YouTube. Because he doesn't get, like, he likes Twitter. He's not going to get rid of Twitter. What would he do all day? He spends all his fucking day on it. Like, what would he do?
Yeah, but you think
Twitter has a reputation for being a cesspool of hate, so there's no wonder he loves it.
But the thing here is, right, and Aaron, we talked about this before. The thing here is that Twitter is trying to get away from that with censoring people, and I don't like that. I think they should just be. I think it should just be everybody's got free speech, and like you, a user, have the option to like delete somebody's comment if you don't like it. I think it should just stay like that. I don't give a fuck for the bullying side. It's like, to me, I look at bullying as if, Mark, if I'm picking on you constantly, all right, that's bullying, yeah. If multiple thousands of different people are doing it at once, that isn't bullying. That's everybody giving their opinion. If I was to do it more than once, then yes, okay.
I would disagree.
Yeah, I highly disagree with that.
How could you disagree with that? Come on.
With more people.
If you're insulting somebody, no matter how many people are insulting you, it's bullying.
No, but not insulting. Giving your opinion on something.
No, if you're bullying people, if you're bullying someone, and then everyone else proceeds to
no,
just more people bullying.
No, but I'm not bullying. I'm not bullying. But I'm not bullying. I'm not bullying because no.
Statement that you're bullying. So if you
no. So what I mean is, if I for example, if Aaron fucking tweets out something or posts a video on some platform or whatever, or does something absolutely ridiculous, yeah, I have the right. I, as an individual, have the right to go and say...
To tell me to go kill myself.
No. But to go and say...
That's the kind of comments we're talking about here. Death threats and telling people to go kill themselves. That's the kind of bullying comments we're talking about.
I mean, that does come under freedom of speech.
Freedom of speech.
If you're free to do it.
If the user doesn't like it, it's not a threat telling you to go kill yourself. That's not a threat. A threat is me.
There are death threats too. Like, I'm generalizing these comments.
Yeah, but
it's a credible death threat. Then maybe that would be different.
That's what I'm saying. The user themselves should be able to flag up certain comments. They shouldn't be able to delete all comments.
See, a death threat is very... So a death threat, there's a legal threshold for that, and that does make sense. Whereas...
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, the user themselves should be able to, like, put in, like, for example, which is what I was saying to Aaron, there should be a filter system, not just a system where you can just be like, oh, turn
I agree with that filter system,
like,
but it's just...
Not just flip a switch and be like, oh, there's no comments altogether. Because I think at the same time, you're also excluding your fans. So what I think is... What Twitter and every other platform should put in, like YouTube, because YouTube has kind of done this. They've kind of come into this like thing of like flagging up certain comments that they think might be like spam and stuff like that. And so you have a certain section for that. Who the fuck's breathing in a mic, man?
What the fuck was that?
Who the fuck is breathing into the mic? Mark, Jesus.
That was me holding in a sneeze.
So YouTube actually like flags it up and goes like, oh, spam comment. So like you have the option to select onto this like spam comment section and actually read it. Now, for example, for like death threats and stuff like that, like more than likely people are just saying the same shit, which is go die, go kill yourself. Off yourself.
They're not death threats, though.
No. Or I'm going to kill you. Sorry. Or like I wish you just fucking.
No, I wish isn't.
Oh yeah, fair enough. Yeah, I'm going to kill you. Right. Okay. So like stuff like that, where it's like, if you click on one comment that says like I'm going to kill your whole family, all right, that it kind of like flags up everything that says I'm going to something to your, like that sentence alone, if it had a flagging system, would more than likely put in to like looks like spam section possibly 100,000 comments like already. Do you know what I mean? It's like, don't take away everybody's freedom of speech, because I'm looking at it from my perspective. Like, I'm not huge or anything like that, but I would like. It's not fact. In real life, I am, but not on social media. So, if I felt like I was getting hate on some platform, and I didn't want to see this hate, that I should be able to filter the hate, but also just be able to see like the nice comments and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because again, you're not taking away anybody's freedom of speech.
Bring up in a minute.
Like, everybody still has their freedom of speech there. Like, you can still comment your hateful shit, but the user themselves won't see it.
But they have the freedom to filter it, which their freedom of speech is,
No, but they're not stopping your freedom of speech, because you still have that freedom to comment it. Do you know what I mean? So
I think that's a good solution.
Yeah. So I'm thinking, like, and I don't know, Twitter, if you're listening, more than likely you're not, because who would listen to this podcast?
Have confidence, Nathan. Confidence.
I'm joking, of course everybody's listening. We've already got 1 million subs on this channel, but I feel like Twitter should just come in with a filtered system so that the user can put in certain words to filter out. So if a sentence involves kill yourself, kill you, or like I wish you were, or not I wish, but like, do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, something that
sentences,
finds that,
yeah. I feel like would be a hell of a lot better than.
Also, like for this flag.
Yeah, I agree.
If someone's repeatedly making death threats against someone, like, that's something that you probably should leave look into after a while. Like,
I don't, because I feel like a lot of them out there would just be keyboard warriors.
A lot of them would be, but there's the odd person that isn't.
But
I just want to say, I just want to say that I agree that system would definitely be a lot better, but I also don't think there's anything wrong with what Twitter has in place right now in giving accounts the ability to turn off comments. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, because if a certain account doesn't want things aimed directly at them, then they have a right to not let that happen. But Twitter isn't taking away freedom of speech, because people can still talk about it. If you want to talk about it, just go hashtag whatever subject it is and see a bunch of people talking about it and have conversations. It's not taking away freedom of speech. It's only taking away the ability to direct that speech at a particular someone. That's really all it is.
That's fair. I mean, as long as you can still express your view without any impact.
Yeah. You can still express your view. You just can't say it directly at the person you want to say it at.
Well, then
they don't want to hear it, and that's their right.
Well, then that is like stopping my freedom of speech.
It's not. You can still talk about it. You just can't aim it directly at them. You have your freedom of speech, which is your opinion, but you just can't.
I mean, that's like
annoy the person about it.
I mean, that's the paradox you come into in real life, where like you're having you're shouting at someone, and someone doesn't want to listen when they walk inside their house, so they can't fucking hear you anymore, and you're like, that's it, that's that person's choice, that's their free will to do that. You have the right to express your opinion. The other person has the right to walk away and go, I've had enough of this, and that's, as a libertarian, that would be like
right. But see, the thing here is that I don't agree with because I don't agree with the comment section, because of the fact that, right, I do understand there is this way of walking inside your house and then you can't actually hear the person, right? That would be the same if Twitter put in the filtered system that to the user would only show the nice comments, but everybody else can see that hate comment. Do you know what I mean? Like, I think that putting in, and now I think that giving users the access to just turn off all comments isn't right. Because I feel like a company, for example, can turn around and just be like, we don't like your opinion, so we're going to disable the comments, and we don't care what you think of how fucking the first Matrix fucking trailer was. We don't give a fuck. We have the right to turn the comments off. Whereas if we compare that to like Sonic, like everybody was tweeting about that, and everybody was tweeting about how they needed to change the way like Sonic looked.
Wasn't that done?
Yeah, but the majority of those people were not aiming it directly at the studio in the comment section. Most of them were just hashtagging Sonic the Hedgehog.
No. Most of them were hashtagging under the comments of the trailer that was posted under the movie producer's fucking video. That's where it was.
Well, they don't have to do that. They don't have to hashtag it.
What do you mean?
At the end of the day,
you hashtag it so it covers more like a wider audience.
If you're talking about liberties and you're coming from like a civil liberties point of view and everybody's freedom, you should have the freedom to express your view, but you also should have the freedom to
filter the view. Yeah.
Not filter, but cancel it altogether if you want. You should have that freedom. I'm saying like both tools should exist. You should still have that freedom.
I think if the filtered system's in there, you wouldn't have to have the system of cancelling everything. But then, yeah, I do understand that. It is kind of a hard thing to really like not cover, but like to kind of complete. Like, because then you do gotta this is me, Aaron, and Alex. I don't even think he's been here. I think this is just a recording of him sitting there like a couple of days ago. But I think this is like a thing where you gotta get quite a number of people in the same room and just share your ideas on what's the best way to get rid of, like, not to get rid of hate comments, because at the same time it's my right to hate on you if you went and fucking recorded a dead body in a forest. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. And only because I'm allowed to post that, and you have no way of controlling to see that or not. Like, you have to see that. That's the only way that it's made a fucking impact. Do you know what I mean?
Because that impacts their liberties. They shouldn't have to do anything. It's not have to.
Well, no. It's like putting a sign outside my house. Like, you're gonna have to see it because you're going outside my house. Yeah, you can look away, but like, do you know what I mean? Eventually, you're gonna see it. No, but you more or less are. Like, I understand you can look away, but you can also look away from the screen that you're looking at Twitter.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So if you want to compare to that, like, you can just turn your head and like go look out the fucking window and scroll through Twitter then.
So if they can already do that, what's your problem with blocking the comments? Just doing the same thing they can already do.
Because then you're taking away freedom of speech. Because then I don't have the freedom to like say to you what was wrong about that fucking video.
You just tweet at them, can you not? You don't have to directly comment. You can tweet at them, and then they can choose to engage.
But I'm commenting on the video that they done wrong in.
You know what I mean?
No. But see, what you don't realize is that if I post a video of recording a body in a forest, right? That. Yeah, but right, and sorry for bringing this back up like 3 years later, but it's going to have not more of an impact, but I'm going to have more notifications under the video than I am people tweeting at me. Do you know what I mean?
It's not about that. It's not about that. It's about the freedom of speech and the liberty of the people involved. It's not about notifications. It's about the liberties of people involved. It's about protecting freedom of speech. It's not about the amount of notifications or whether that person which form of message will get to the person more effectively. It's about each person having their own individual choice and free will and how they wish to engage with the matter. It's not about that.
Right, so question. Twitter allows people to delete all comments and all ads, yeah?
Yeah.
Twitter then brings in a filtration system that stops people from adding people with hate comments. What do you say then?
What do you mean? Allowing people to add?
It's Twitter. It's their platform. I don't get why are you ragging on about freedom of speech? You're in the UK.
But I have it.
You have no.
What do you mean I have no? I'll say what I say what I want. Nobody gonna control me.
You get jail time for for fucking Nazi
for
jokes.
What? Yeah, but that's it.
You get.
What are you talking
prosecuted.
about? Yeah, I'll say what I want. You say what you want,
but you could still like technically.
Hail Hydra. There you go.
Yeah. Obviously not that, but like, obviously, like there was a legal case of this example where like a dude.
Oh, fucking the guy with the fucking pug.
Yeah, exactly. His name is Grant, and basically he trained his girlfriend's pug.
To do it.
Whenever he said anything to do with
Nazi video, and then he got fucking prosecuted.
You know, he didn't.
Like a
He didn't. I watched his videos. He didn't get any prosecution. There was a huge legal battle. He didn't get anything. He didn't go to jail. What?
So he's been given a fine, which he's deliberately ignored, right?
Yes. But that's what I'm saying. He hasn't been prosecuted. He hasn't gotten anything.
The legal battle is.
How do you think they gave him the fine without prosecuting him? What do you think was the legal process?
No, because you still have a thing to appeal it. He's appealing it, so he hasn't been prosecuted yet.
Against the prosecution.
No, only prosecuted if you actually pay for it or actually go through with it.
That's not being prosecuted.
That's being trialed
for something. Being convicted is being confirmed that you're using the incorrect legal terminology.
Okay, whatever. I've had a fucking couple of beers. Jesus Christ, but you still get what I mean. Like, fucking hell. Like,
listen, guys, I just used completely wrong words and confuse everyone about it. Shut up.
Like, he hasn't fucking, like, paid out. Right, he might have paid out to his legal team to, like, fight the battle. But, like, he hasn't done jail time. He hasn't done community service. He hasn't done fucking anything. All he's done is... What?
That's not the point. The point was that
I don't care about getting fucking prosecuted for something and then still being able to walk the street as if I've done nothing. I don't give a fuck. I only care about if I'm actually prosecuted and charged with something.
He was prosecuted and charged.
No, but he hasn't actually like. No, but he's not. No, but he's not like. If he's appealing it, right?
Yeah.
Yes, appealing, implying he has already been charged
and convicted of something. You're appealing that conviction.
Right, but you can also be charged wrongly. You can be charged wrongly.
Yeah,
as we've seen with George Floyd, the police officer, the police officer was charged wrongly. He should have been charged more harshly. But yes, this guy with the pug was charged wrongly because prosecuted wrongly. Whatever the fuck, I don't give a fuck. Whatever. This guy, in my opinion, right, hadn't done any wrong to anybody, like hadn't harmed anybody. He used words. So if anybody got issues, but if anybody got issues with any of that, fuck off.
The wall had a slight issue with it. So.
Yeah, Wales Scottish. Was it Scottish?
It was
Scottish,
Scotland,
yeah. So Scotland's fucking not MPs, but fucking judges and whoever else fucking had an issue with it because he teached a fucking pug to fucking do Hail Hitler. Fuck off. If anything, that's like you can't just take something from context. Like if I say, I don't know, like what can I say? Again, Hail Hitler or whatever, yeah? Like, I'm saying that as like an example. Whatever.
Just give me a little Heil.
Whatever. But like, I don't have to worry about it because I'm not in fucking Scotland. But like, they can't just go, oh, you said Hail, we're putting you in prison.
Heil.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's more or less what he done. You know,
he did that, but he still got convicted for it.
Yeah, but that's Scotland being stupid. Being absolutely stupid. Oh my god, we'll end.
We agree it's stupid. We're not arguing that it's stupid. We agree that it's stupid, but when you come down to the fact he did get prosecuted and convicted under UK law, which is wrong and he's rightfully appealing, we're not arguing that. The fact of the matter is he did do that, which proved that the law is wrong. And if you get prosecuted and charged with that and convicted of that within the UK, technically, legally speaking, you do not have freedom of speech.
Well, no, if he appeals it and wins, you do.
Yeah, until then.
But you think, how do you think this is going to go? You think he's not going to win this?
I don't know. He's not won the last 2 appeals.
Nah, he's gonna win this. He's gonna win it.
Well,
Like,
I hope
what
he
last
wins.
2 appeals?
I hope you're correct. I honestly do. But part of me doubts it. I really hope you're correct.
Over people not liking him. Like, we've gotten so off topic here, right?
Oh yeah.
Let's just bring it back here, right? We were talking about the riots. It just took us off on one.
Where are we?
Yeah, for about an hour.
We get from the riots in America to talking about a punk doing Heil Hitler.
Because you know why? Because it's all about us. That's why we always bring it back to where the fuck we're living. Right. So let's move this away from the riots and possibly move it into movies. And if we would care to see the alternate and possible better cut of David Ayer's Suicide Squad.
It's David Ayer.
Ayers, whatever.
It's Ayer. Let's not insult the man. Let's not mispronounce his name. Because we're all uneducated in the subject.
Uneducated.
Yeah.
I'll pronounce it whatever way I want. Freedom of speech. But yeah.
I'm prosecuted for that.
I could do, but who cares? I don't. So
Speaking of not caring, that's exactly how I feel about this cut.
About what cut?
What do you say?
Oh, about the cut, about the Suicide Squad cut.
I agree. If that's what Nathan's saying, I agree.
Mark, I want to educate you. Like, did you know that Warner Brothers massacred Suicide Squad so badly that they brought in a trailer company to edit the movie?
I'm sure they did. I'm sure they
Yeah,
did. But I'm sure they did. They've done that with nearly every film. I know that, and
no, they haven't.
I think they have. They've done that.
They haven't.
They did that with Justice League. Yeah, they butchered that by editing.
No, that was just Joss Whedon.
Yeah, but they brought in someone else to edit and chop it up and redo it halfway through. That wasn't the original director, and it was.
Yeah, but there's like that. There's a difference there because there's one is a trailer editing company, which is a completely different technique of editing. Like a trailer editing company do not know how to do a proper film cut. It's a trailer company.
I get that.
It's very, very obvious because watching Suicide Squad, it feels like you're watching a music video at times. Which is,
I get that, but also my main issues with Suicide Squad weren't with the editing; they were mostly with the performances and the writing. And yes, the editing was shit, but it just fell in with all the shitness. If people are going to say it, this like Jared Leto's take on the fucking Joker is shit.
I didn't mind his take. I honestly didn't.
Honestly, like I'll put this example.
Dive off a tower. To be honest.
You could watch 5 seconds of Heath Ledger's Joker and tell he's absolutely fucking brilliant at it.
Oh yeah, I agree. Like Heath Ledger is by far the best Joker.
So by using that same thing, from the 5 seconds I've seen of Jared Leto's taking the Joker, I thought it was fucking awful. And
yeah, but that's the thing. Because David Ayer, he said he made a full drama, and the way Warner Brothers chopped it up, they turned it into a comedy. So, but the kind of the Joker we're seeing is a completely different tone of Joker put into a movie that is in a different tone to which he's supposed to be in. So we're seeing an out of context Joker, out of context Joker, a Joker out of the context, it just really, it's so chopped up and weird and so off tone that it affected Jared Leto's Joker.
If you listen to my point, my problem was with the acting, the way he was, the writing of like his scenes, like even like on their own. Like I've watched them on his own to go like, is this good or bad? And it's like watching it in isolation from the rest of it, it's just fucking terrible. It's really, really bad. It's just not good. And seeing any more of that, I highly doubt will change my disposition on that point. That movie was terrible, but I will argue that Margot Robbie is fucking fantastic as Harley Quinn and a great casting.
Oh, yeah.
But I will also argue that Jared
her solo movie wasn't so great, but yeah.
Solo movie, like, it's a shame she's gone. Like, it's horrible. It's the same with Cavill. like other than the first Superman film, which was like Man of Steel. Like I don't know what anyone else thinks about it, but I thought it was fantastic. But everything else since then, like perfect
Man of
casting.
Steel.
Yeah, perfect casting, but like, terrible writing.
I watched it recently, and I have to agree, it's pretty decent.
Yeah,
To be honest, there's a few flaws. There's a few flaws, but it's just like seeing Henry Cavill as a Superman. It's like if I was a woman, I'd be creaming my panties right now, but I'm not. Yeah. But it's like I'm still a guy and I'm still creaming my panties, and it's like if they cast anybody else as Superman, I don't think I'll watch it.
Yeah, I would.
And I'm being honest,
I'll watch it, but I just won't be as satisfied watching it.
No, I won't give them the satisfaction of giving them my money to watch it. I won't. I feel like this generation deserves Henry Cavill as Superman until he's fucking grown out of it, which he hasn't.
And that's the thing.
Which he hasn't.
We're getting him.
That's good.
It's confirmed. We're getting more Superman.
That's good.
He's gonna show up in a cameo, and he's rumored to be starring in a sequel directed by, hear this now,
Schneider.
J.J. Abrams.
Oh.
That's interesting.
Director of Rise of Skywalker. Director.
Okay.
He's the dude that revived Star Wars. He's the dude that revived Star Trek. He's the dude that revived Mission Impossible.
The dude that put down Star Wars.
Yeah,
wait. Have they said that it's gonna be like Man of Steel 2?
No, it's not confirmed. It's just a rumor that like JJ has been in talks to do the Man of Steel sequel, because like it was said years ago that he was working on a script with a bunch of other people, so it does line up with things from the past that he would direct it. But it's a rumor, so don't take it. Take it as a grain of salt. But yeah,
it's like
it might.
Star Wars, let me bring some Superman as well.
Right.
Forget how he landed the Star Wars train or the Star Wars plane. He revived Star Wars. He brought it back. He made The Force Awakens the most popular Star Wars has ever been, the most money it's ever made.
It's like resurrecting being a fucking.
He's brought Star Trek back, and that was fantastic. That first Star Trek movie was fantastic in my opinion.
Never watched it.
Mission Impossible 3 movie he did.
It wasn't Star Trek.
Fantastic.
It wasn't Star Trek though.
It wasn't really Star Trek.
It wasn't Star Trek.
Right. But the thing here is
cool,
the thing. Right.
Yeah.
But the thing here is right. The thing here.
I would have been into it.
The thing here is that the first Man of Steel isn't Man of Steel. So the only thing he can do is go opposite to that, which could possibly make it Man of Steel. Do you know what I mean? Because some people would argue that Man of Steel wasn't that good, the first one, that he could then turn that one around to actually be Man of Steel. Because what I'm hearing from you guys is that he flipped Star Wars, that it wasn't actually Star Wars, or that it wasn't actually Star Trek. Sorry, not Star Wars, Star Trek. When Alex was like, yeah, but it wasn't Star Trek. Yeah, but Alex was like,
Star Trek. They just refuse to believe it. It's their own personal opinion.
Like they're saying like it's not actually Star Trek. So what I'm hearing is like, because from a lot of people are saying like,
I didn't like Star Trek until J.J. Abrams' version. So.
What I mean is like, a lot of people think that Man of Steel isn't actually Superman, Man of Steel, like a proper Superman film, because people are like, he's not all like, I've got to do this for America, save everybody's life, like, do you know what I mean? Whereas like he's a lot more just fling somebody across the fucking, like across the country or whatever, not like caring about a lot of things and stuff like that. I would disagree that the first Man of Steel is a building of the character movie. It's not he's gonna be the perfect Superman from the very beginning.
Like, he's starting off. He's finding out who he is, because he's just discovered that he's got this father, and he's got this suit. Like this all happens in a period of like 2 days. It's just like he's not just gonna put on this suit and be I am so patriotic right now. I'm going to be America's idol. I'm going to be so innocent.
Yeah.
Like he's going to have a lot of struggles. He's even though he's not human.
He's not going to be in Captain America's level.
He was raised by humans, so
he's not going
to be.
My point is he's not going to be in Captain America's level because of the fact that he's doing this within a week or two. Like, where Captain America's doing this over the course of years. Like, years. You know, with being frozen and waking up.
Systemic racism.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like people's biggest gripe with Man of Steel, there's two big things in Man of Steel that people just don't like. Maybe three. The one being the very preventable death of his father, which that could have been prevented, but his father didn't want him to do that, and he would have been like, there was a bunch of ground laid up to that moment so that Clark wouldn't go and save him. So there was a bunch of things before that if you were paying attention, you would have realized why he didn't go save his father, because his father put up his hand, and that goes back to everything that was said previously in the movie. So pay more attention if you didn't get that bit.
But see, the argument. Wait, Aaron. The argument. Sorry to interrupt, but the argument again that is that a guy comes to Earth, he's there for 2 minutes, and then Clark already changes.
Huh?
My point is that a guy comes to Earth, and Clark changes within 2 minutes and starts using his powers. That's my only argument with the movie, is that he spends years and years and years.
No, he didn't start using his powers. At the very start of Man of Steel, he saves a bunch of people in an oil rig.
No. But what I'm saying is, for years and years and years, he has not used his powers because his dad told him if the world ever found out, they would try kill him. Whatever the fuck, right?
The world wasn't ready for it yet.
Yeah. And all it takes is that 2 minute clip of some guy from a spaceship saying, "Give us this man," and then that's it. Boom. Next clip is him floating in front of the military. Like, what I'm trying to get at is the story should have been planned a lot better, to the point where it was believable for him to just turn back on his word on his father about using his powers and stuff like that than it was. Like, so for a good half an hour of the movie, it was a whole thing of like, the father doesn't want him using his powers, like, don't use them, the world's not ready for it, blah 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 blah. It takes him 5 minutes before he's using his powers in a suit and fucking floating in front of the military. That doesn't work with people.
Did he float in front of the military before or after Zod showed up?
Just after.
So it was already done.
Right, but it was 5 minutes. Right, but it was 5 minutes in the movie, which is what I'm saying. Like, it's the pacing of the movie was off. If anything, they should have, in the start of the movie, they should have had him like gradually using his powers and gradually being noticed by people. Right, I understand that. What did he do? He fucking melted snow to get to a ship that was dug like 30,000 meters under the fucking snow, and then a reporter. No, and then a reporter fucking followed him. Yes, but he wasn't actually doing anything out in the public. Do you know what I mean? He saved people on an oil rig on a ship, but no.
A bunch of people burning.
He was on a ship that was out there doing that. Like, they were fishing and shit, and they just heard that. He wasn't flying around the fucking earth, like, trying to save people, which is my point. Like, he showed up in front of the military wearing his suit as if he's been doing this for years, when he hasn't.
I don't agree with that.
No, but what I'm saying is, I understand where people are coming from with the way the movie was kind of like the time of the movie was kind of like off. That if anything, they should have spent fuck all time showing him not using his powers and why not. Because it took in Spider-Man, it took like Uncle Ben saying with great power comes great responsibility. That was it. The guy, fucking Spider-Man, Peter Parker, goes and uses his powers in a fucking ring fighting somebody, and then spends every bit after that time using his powers to like fight crime and stuff like that. Whereas in Man of Steel, they done completely opposite. It was like a half an hour of his uncle, or not his uncle, his father telling him not to use his powers, in 5 minutes of him fucking, oh yeah, I'm ready to go, I'm Superman. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't feel right to the viewer, I think, and I think that's where the issue was. I don't think the issue was in like any CGI or like any little shit like that. I think it was mainly to do with the pacing of the movie. That's my opinion.
Well, no, fair enough. Fair enough. Like I don't see it. For me, it felt like a natural progression, but I can see where you're coming from. But yeah, there was that.
Yeah. So back to the Suicide Squad.
But the Suicide Squad cut, I really like it because from what I've heard, there was a lot of things cut, especially of Jared Leto's Joker. A lot of stuff cut there, and apparently it was a completely different genre of the film, it being a drama, and there was a bunch of reshoots that changed a bunch of shots, and apparently there was a bunch of scenes that were acted a lot better, and it's just like there's a lot of stuff that I'd like to see from that Ayer cut if it's done, and if everybody's as loud as they were about this cut as they were about the Snyder cut, I think we'll get it. I definitely think we'll get it.
I mean, only time will tell.
Yeah,
only time will tell.
I think the movie might be different, but I think Jared Leto's take on the Joker will remain exactly the same.
Alex, where'd you go?
Yeah, Alex has disappeared. He felt so excluded from the conversation, he in fact turned off his camera. Why is that? Do you feel left out, Alex? Do you have anything to add to this conversation? Have you seen Suicide Squad? Would you like to see a different cut in which it will be more serious, more dark, more dramatized, less funny?
Great chat. So,
yeah,
I think we'll move from movies to TV shows. What are you guys watching at the minute? What would you recommend?
Mark, I'll let you start this year.
Not really watching anything, to be honest with you.
Whether you're watching something now or you have watched something that you think people should be watching, let's hear it.
Mr. Robot, just watch it. It's fantastic. It's probably the best television show that's been made in the past, I'd say, decade. Because unlike certain other TV shows that will not be named, the quality is constant.
Because all I know about it is that Rami Malek
will not be named.
I know it has something to do with hacking or programming or something like that. That's really all I know about it.
It's not as much about hacking programming. It's a lot actually about like mental illness and psychosis. It's really actually good. It's really good. It's a complete mindfuck in some parts, but it's really good. It's fantastic. Like, watch it. It's like, it's good in the quality. Like, I haven't seen the final season, but like seasons 1 to 3, there's only going to be 4 seasons, which I think is the sensible thing, not to drag it out longer than it needs to be, or, be the length that it was meant to be, and don't alter it in any way, either shortening it or lengthening it, and just keep the quality constant. So yeah, watch that.
As our teachers used to say when giving us essays to do, it's as long as it has to be. So
as long as it should be. Should be.
Yeah.
Has to be.
The longer the better.
Yeah. Oh, Alex is back. Do you go to the toilet?
I had to feed the cat.
Feed the cat. Alright. Are you putting the camera back on? Good man.
Yeah.
All right, okay. Are you actually going to interact with us now? Right, so we're actually on TV shows. So if you've got any to recommend at the minute, like what are you watching at the minute?
Last Kingdom.
That was actually a TV show that I was talking to Dylan about. I said Alex was talking about. Oh no, I was actually talking to my line manager about it actually, because he was asking me like, "What am I watching at the minute?" And I'm saying nothing, but my friend recommends some movie that's kind of set further back than Vikings, and because I remember you saying that
series.
Or sorry, not movie, TV show set back further than the Viking, and then he was like, "Oh, what is it?" And I couldn't think of the name. So, The Last Viking. Okay, I'll tell him about it. I'm not watching anything at the minute, but how was The Last Viking?
Because all I've heard about it is that it's either about it's the dude that we're following. He's a Viking that was raised in England, or he's an Englishman raised in the Viking.
Earl son that was raised as a Viking.
All right, okay. And then returns to England. No, okay.
He doesn't want to give too much away, but yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that's
all right, fair enough.
That's
yeah, it does look good. Production, but like I seen a trailer for the latest season. Well, a bit of footage from the last trailer, and the production value looks insane.
Now, first season might seem a bit cheesy, but season 2, season 3, season 4.
All right. Well, hopefully it can hold up in season 5. If there is there going to be a 5th season? Isn't there?
Well, yeah, I think so.
Well, hopefully it can hold up, because Vikings
it's a Netflix show.
Made 4 seasons of beautiful stuff, and then season 5, although it wasn't completely horrible, it was a big dip in quality, and the latest season, well, the first half of the latest season was a bit. It said goodbye to a major character who I'm not going to mention, and the second half of the 6th and final season is yet to come. But yeah, The Last Kingdom is a show I've been meaning to watch. The production value looks good. I just wanted to wait until Vikings was over to start watching it, because I didn't want to watch 2 shows that are too similar at the same time. I just rather finish a show and then move on to something that sort of keeps the same thing. So I'm not it's a weird way to go about it, but I just didn't feel like watching
shows like
2 shows that are so similar at the same time.
Similar.
I've only watched, I think, the first episode of Vikings. First season. Oh,
Jesus Christ, man!
First season of Vikings, and all I'll say is, in the first season, that main character,
Ragnar.
If they've killed him off, which I've heard from you guys that they have, I will stop watching.
It's worth the journey.
Alex, I can't hear you.
It's worth the journey.
It might be, but I'm gonna stop in season 3.5 or whatever the fuck they've got rid of him, and that's it. It's gonna be literally like Superman. From my generation, that's the character that's the actor for that character, and if you get rid of him, bye bye. So if you get rid of Rick, bye bye. Do you know what I mean? Like, so if The Walking Dead get rid of Rick,
finish to the very, very end of season 4, and if that's the time to give up if you want to give up, but finish to the very, very end.
I'll see. Anybody
no
else?
What happens in season 4 and get to the very end, and then if you're not happy with what happens,
anybody else got any show recommendations, Mark?
For me, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It's so good.
This is their last season.
It's so good. They're in their final season now. The first episode aired there a few days ago, and it's a show because the CW shows like Supergirl, The Flash, Arrow, the Legends of Tomorrow, they all get so much media attention. There's so many people talking about it, but all of them have worse critic ratings than Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. All of them have less, people watching them, Like Agents of Shield has more people watching, it has higher ratings, but for some reason the media isn't pushing it. Like there's no media that's talking about it enough to the point where it's getting as much talk as the Flash. There's just so much. I don't understand it, and it's not even getting awards attention either, like the CW shows are getting, which is another thing. Like the Saturn Awards, which is like probably the biggest award show for sort of small geek like things like that. There, it should be getting nominated for awards there, but it's not, and it pisses me off because the writing is so fucking good. Pretty much any fucking YouTube reaction channel that has picked it up and started watching it has fallen in love with it, and I do not understand why people, because like given like the first 10 episodes of the first season, they're a bit rough to get through for some people. I thought they were fairly good, but once it ties in with Captain America: The Winter Soldier, with the fall of the Shield, it gets so interesting. It's so good. The acting is just top notch. The character development over the 7 seasons or the 6 seasons we've seen so far has been fucking unreal. It's so consistent. They have so many good twists and turns. It just keeps you guessing. You can never. There's so many people that have not seen any of the twists coming. Like you can't say it's predictable because it is not. It's fucking fantastic. And it pisses me off that not enough people watch it, and it gets shit on because of those first 10 episodes that people have seen and just assumed the show is a pile of shite, because it's fantastic. So if there's a show to watch right now and you're a big geek, Agents of Shield is the show to watch, I think.
All right. What about you, Mark?
I guess what is a good show? I quite like the Grand Tour, especially episodes where they go on like the
road trips. Yeah.
I mean, they're the highlight.
Are those the dudes from Top Gear?
Yeah,
the guys from Top Gear.
And can I just add that I respect what the other two dudes done when there was this big hassle with Jeremy Clarkson and the BBC. The other two guys were like, fuck it, we're leaving too, and left and went and created a completely separate TV show with
Same
Amazon.
concept.
Bit different concept, because they actually host it in different areas of the world every season.
Not really. That's only for the first season. Then
okay.
To the same place.
All right, but like not their like road trips and stuff in every season.
No.
Yeah. So like,
season has just been toward the wee like stories that they used to do, like specials.
Yeah. I like that. That's what I preferred most about Top Gear. Like I didn't really like the car shit. Like I just loved it. Like we've thrown
three dudes into the shittest cars in the middle of fucking Syria, and they're dodging fucking nuclear warheads in fucking Priuses. It is mad. Like, it's mad what they'll do, but they just do it. And it's like they're up on this mountain that's got a fucking meter, like the distance of it, like the mountain and the road is a meter wide, and they're driving 2 meter long with cars, like, and it's just like like, I know they didn't, but I'm just like using an example. I don't know if they have actually went up mountains and stuff like this, but like it's just like what I'm trying to get at is the producers for the Grand Tour will just sign Jeremy Clarkson and the other two up for absolutely fucking anything. And it's great.
Yeah,
it is great.
Another good show that's like a bit of a hidden gem on Amazon Prime is also James May in Japan.
I actually have seen things on that. I haven't actually watched it, but I've seen things on it.
If you like James May, which I do, I quite like him.
Who is James May? He sounds familiar.
He's the guy with Jeremy Clarkson in Top Gear. So there's Jeremy Clarkson.
He's the smallest dude.
Yep, Jeremy Clarkson, James May, and Richard Hammond.
like James May is kind of like the boring dude that's into like loads of technical stuff, I guess. But like,
I actually liked him the most out of the three. I'm not.
I liked him.
It's because you're both the boring dude. Anyway,
but he's got quite a good dry wit. But like, it's basically him going through Japan, and like, it's a fantastic show.
So he catches the corona, and then a week later he gets rid of the corona.
It's China, man. Not Japan.
Yeah, but a great show. Really
Same
hidden gem
difference.
on Prime.
What did you say there, Nathan? What?
I said same difference.
Oh, same differences. Alright.
Yeah.
Did you hear that, folks? That's the sound of demonetization.
It's not like we're monetized anyway. But I don't have a show to give you guys because I'm not watching anything. I'm watching
my show you have watched that you think people should watch?
Yeah, it's called YouTube/ShizzleCW. That's what it's called.
Don't plug it here if you're not going to plug the channel.
That's what it's called. That's what it's called. The reason being is because I only watch myself. Nah, I don't even watch myself. I record a video every day. I record a video. I edit the video. I upload the video, and that's it. I don't have time for TV shows. I'm on that fucking YouTube grind. I am on that grind. I don't got time to watch shows. I don't got time to watch YouTube videos. Unless it's
DW, subscribe so we can see Nathan shave his head. We want to see that big bald head really soon.
Man,
that doesn't sound right.
Man, I have never been bald. Ever been bald. So do you realize how big this is for me? Like, the last time I was bald was when I came out of my fucking mother's vagina. That's the last time I've been bald.
And let me tell you, that thing was certainly not bald.
I remember. It was not bald. I came out with a fucking mouthful of fucking hedge. Yeah.
Alright then.
But I'm not watching anything at the minute. I'm currently just like focusing on me, my career that I want to do. Yeah, so unless you classify the show of Nathan, which is where I basically just go and live like any normal person, so it's kind of like a life series, then yeah, that's the only fucking show I'm watching. No, I am definitely not. I don't know, if you look at it like this guy that this guy that that more or less came from nothing. Like when you, in terms of like having having not a posh family, but like having a family that was out there known by the social media and stuff like that. If you get me.
Dog Millionaire, but like more poetic.
Yeah, exactly. But like having a family that's known by any social media or anything, like my family name is just no one. You know, it would never be on anybody's radar other than the government's to take taxes, and that's it. Do you know what I mean? So like to come from there to like, fingers crossed, hopefully be something, then that'll be a great movie to fucking promote or TV show to promote. And
there's one more TV show I want to mention.
I like what you've done there, Mark. I don't want to promote my channel on the podcast because I'm not that type of guy. No, what I said was I didn't want to promote the podcast on my channel yet, because I have different plans about promoting the channel or the podcast on my channel. That is why. And I haven't said it to you yet because the plans can't happen just yet because I don't have enough of something. So that's why. Alright. So,
with his, autobiography.
And it's not as if we get thousands of fucking views on here anyway, so who's going to even bother? Like, you know, even listening to an hour and fucking 50 minutes to just hear me say, oh, my channel name. Nobody. Anyway, Aaron, go on.
Yeah, there's one last show I'm just going to quickly mention and then we can move on. It's called Sense8. It's on Netflix. It was done by one of the Witch House for the Matrix. It's Nathan, I can already see the disappointment here in his face, but I'm just going to carry on anyway.
Aaron, I think your people are calling you home.
What do you mean?
I think he was trying to get beamed up there.
What? Oh yeah, because he sounded like a fucking alien.
What the fuck happened there?
Eat photo.
Okay, but anyway, the Wachowskis, who made the Matrix, one of them. Okay, anyway, the Wachowskis.
Right, come on, kitty.
Yeah, Sense8 on Netflix about a bunch of people that have a mental connection. 8 people from around the world, all born on the same day at the exact same time. They're able to basically communicate with each other, get each other's abilities or talents, and use them to their effect. And it's about them going up against a company who do not like.
Can I just ask something? How many people are on this earth? This is a question to everybody.
8 billion.
How many people are on this earth?
8 billion.
8 billion. And they say there is a birth every second.
Yeah.
Okay. So only 8.
Yeah, because there's these.
But you understand where I'm going with this.
Called Sense8.
Right, but you wait. You understand where I'm going with this? No.
They all have a mental connection.
Okay. Right, you've elaborated.
Packs of 8, they all have a mental connection.
Okay.
So it's called Sense8. It's not something. It's not a big deal, but I can see where you're going with that. But yeah, it's packs of 8 people. There's a bunch of different packs of people that have connections. It's 2 seasons long. It's fantastic. The production value, the budget for every episode was 10 million. They shot on location around the world. It's a fantastic show. I would highly, 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 highly recommend it, because it got cancelled because it was too expensive to make, and there wasn't enough people watching it, and Netflix didn't promote it enough, because if something doesn't jump up or get popular without promotion, Netflix isn't going to push it, because they've put out so much content at the same time. They put out so much content every day. They don't have enough money to promote every show they put out. So whatever people start talking about, they'll start promoting. So that's basically how that works. But Sense8 wasn't talked about enough, but it's a fantastic show that a lot of people should watch on. Fans loved it so much that they forced Netflix to do a 2-hour movie to wrap it up, because they cancelled it on a massive cliffhanger. So, and all of the passion from the fans got them to wrap it up. So it is wrapped up. It's a fucking great show. Highly recommended.
Wouldn't you think that passion that got them to do a 2-hour movie last episode should have pushed Netflix enough to actually keep doing the series?
Well, the thing is, whichever Wachowski, I think it was Lana Wachowski that did the show, but she actually wrote an entire script for a 3rd season, so it was up to Netflix to greenlight the season. But they just didn't think it was. They just didn't want to promote it, and didn't want to put the money in to make the episodes, because 10 million episode. I don't really think there's any other. I think Witcher is probably the latest series that sort of makes up that budget, but it already has a massive following, pre-existing audience behind it, so it was easy enough to get that. And considering the amount of people that watched it when it launched, being the 2nd biggest series after Stranger Things, which got 3 years worth of fans, it's madness. But yeah, so there's that. But,
so Sense8 is what you would do. Yeah. All right. Well, I think now's a good time to actually move on to quickly finding out what you guys are listening to in music. And then we can push on to our last topic of games. So, music-wise, what are you listening to this week?
Well, I was been listening to, in particular, a band that I actually haven't listened to in a while, but they're called Aranda, and they're like a sort of soulful, bluesy rock band that they're a two-piece rock band as well. They've got 3 albums, not very well known. I've discovered them through wrestling, funny enough, which I don't watch anymore, because they had one of their theme songs. They had one of their songs used for a pay-per-view. There's a song called "Why You Want to Bring Me Down" that was used like for a pay-per-view back in like 2009, and like I discovered them through that, and I think they haven't got a bad song. I genuinely think they don't have a bad song. I think a lot of people really need to get them on the radar, because they are a brilliant band, I think. And they haven't a bad song. Not one bad song out of 3 albums. So I would highly recommend listening to them.
Okay. What about you, Alex? I can't hear you. Same old shit. What's that?
Same old shit.
Slave.
What?
Bit of audio slave.
Audio save.
Absolute banger.
What else you got?
Best in peace, Chris Cornell.
One of the best vocalists ever.
I've never listened to him.
Yeah, definitely. You probably would have heard his he was in Audio Slave and Soundgarden. You might have heard one of their songs at the end credits for Avengers. That was used.
Which Avengers?
The first Avengers.
Oh, I don't think I stayed long enough for the first Avengers end credits.
Oh well. If you watch it again, the song that plays in the Avengers end credits, that's Soundgarden. The singer of that, Chris Cornell. Fucking fantastic voice. Also, James Bond theme, Casino Royale theme. You know my name. That's Chris Cornell.
All right. Okay. What about you, Mark?
I mean, I don't really listen
to music. Yeah.
Big of a music festival. Thing I really listen to is something finishing up uni the past week or so. So I've been listening to
Ayer tunes, yeah.
Yeah, totally. I've been listening to some electro swing, which is
up the Sinn Féin.
Like it's 1920s sort of depression era music that's like remixed with like electro, so it's pretty cool.
That's a very interesting taste, man. I'm not gonna lie, that's fairly unique.
That is that is fairly weird.
It's not weird. It's unique.
No, it is. It is. Somebody taking songs from the 1920s and turning them into an electric fucking beat song. It's pretty fucking
it's
weird.
Pure concept.
It may be, but it's fucking weird.
Yeah, it is. It is weird. It does not succeed, but like there's some like really good tracks. I don't know. I just put on the remixes while at work, and some of them are quite good. You occasionally get the dud, because that is, it's hard to do. You're matching something from nearly 100 years ago to current day music. But I find that interesting. But yeah, I that's what I've been listening to. Couldn't tell you the artist or anything like that. So yeah, but that's what I've been listening to. I think it's pretty cool if you ever get a chance. If you want some good, unusual party music.
All right. Okay. Well, the only thing I've been kind of listening to is fucking hentai. I'm only messing. I haven't really been listening to anything bar like one album.
KSI.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, KSI is the only man you've been listening to. He's the only man in your life right now.
No, it's not that. I only have time when I'm driving to work and when I'm coming home from work. And when I'm doing either, because that's the only time I listen to music. When I'm doing either, I just stick on his album. I just stick it on. It's just got.
Is it still as fun to listen to as when you first started?
Yeah. Like, a lot of the songs just make me think of different things. And it's like, I like that. Because I understand.
Yeah, I've noticed that's a common theme in your videos.
Like,
you say I like that.
Yeah. And I've also acknowledged that I know when people don't like when I say I like that, but I just leave it at that, and that's it. I'm not even saying anymore. No, but the reason why I like it is that I feel like if a song makes me think of a certain situation, that the song has done its job. That, to me anyway, it's done its job. So if I'm thinking of something that's just, it's never in my mind, but then I just happen to think about it while listening to the song, and this song kind of has the same rhythm to, like, let's say for example a sad song, and then I start thinking of like the sad time that, that happened, then I feel like the song itself has kind of done its job. But when I'm coming home from work and going to work, I just, like, it's just gotten so, I think because the first week it came out, I was trying to like stream it, and push it just so everybody fucking would push it as well, to like make him fucking shave his hair off, but he like found loopholes and shit, so he's not actually shaving his head. But I think because of that, I'm just now like get in the car and I just pop it on. Like it's got some chill beats, it's got some like really good rhythm beats, it's got a wavy beat, it's got like a sad beat. Like I think I've done actually a tier list that you'll see tomorrow, Aaron, and you'll see the first 4 songs on God tier. They're the songs that I mainly listen to in the car when I put the album on. The other songs I don't really listen to, and then there is some songs on the album as well that were out like a month before he dropped the album, so I don't listen to them because they've just gotten like kind of annoying because I was listening to them so much before. Yeah,
just you've been listening to a fucking good bit then.
Yeah, and it's just a lot of the music is like everybody can shit in KSI, everybody can be like he's a fucking twat, everybody can be like he's just so annoying with his laugh and with how he does things and blah 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 blah. But you gotta remember, KSI used to be a nerd like us. He used to be.
He still is.
Some would say he's the cool kid now, but he used to be the fucking nerd. Like he used to be.
If he was an actual nerd, he'd still be one.
Like he used to be the fucker that, you know, people came to like fucking ask, what's this question? Do you know what I mean? Or what's the answer to this question? Sorry, not what's this question, but what's the answer to this question? Like what's the answer to this? What's the answer to this? Like he used to be the fucking nerd of the school, and now look at him, probably making most of everybody in his school put together. You know, just having such a successful life to the point where if you say his name, more than likely in a group of 5 people, one's gonna fucking know him. Do you know what I mean?
So from the looks of things, he could quit YouTube right now and be set for life. If
I was to do that, what do you like? I gather a group of 5 people down the street. What's gonna happen? Who's that? Who's that? Do you know what I mean? Nobody gonna know who I am. There's like it's just there's no success there whatsoever. Whereas with him, it's just he's a bit like PewDiePie. Him, Logan Paul, and PewDiePie, I think, and maybe David Dobrik. They're kind of like on the god tier to the point where it's like if you mention their name, a group of 1 of 5 to 4 people, one of them is bound to know who the fuck he is. Like, and that's what I like.
David Dobrik or David Dobrik?
Dobrik. Yeah, and that's what I like. I kind of want to push myself to that. I want to be the person that's like, you say my name in front of 5 people, one of them gonna know who I am, if not more. But
best if they're a police officer, I suppose, isn't it?
I mean, there's quite a number of police officers that'll know who I am, so I'm already set there. Yeah, so there's no music like that I'm actually properly listening to. I just put that on whenever I'm going to work. But yeah, I think we'll move on to our last topic of the night, which is games. Aaron, you had down some Viking rap or something like that was to do with like the new Valhalla.
Yeah, I sent a link in Messenger if you want to go check it out.
I did not see this link. Oh, I do. Right, so Assassin's Creed Valhalla to feature playable Viking rap battles.
I can see the look of disappointment on your face.
So I actually looked into this when you actually sent the link, and at first I hated it, but then when I looked into it, it actually is something that historically happened when two Vikings would try and insult each other. Basically, you're going to have a playable version of that, so it's historically accurate, so I can't hate on it. So fair play.
Fair enough. And that was my first. I take it that was your first, your first reaction, which was, because because thinking back to that time, I was like, lad, they didn't even know half the dictionary, let alone fucking rap battling. Do you know what I mean? But
they didn't know half of our dictionary, but they had their own.
Okay, whatever. But
it's not a rap battle per se. That's
I think it's going to be more of an insult.
Yeah, an insult. Yeah.
But to the point where it's kind of rhyming, so that's why they're kind of putting it as, oh my god, it's a rap battle.
Possibly. I mean,
yeah. I mean, if they done it in the past,
rhythm and poetry.
If they done it in the past, then okay.
Yeah, if it's start accurate, that's fine. I'm fine with that.
Yeah, because I was just thinking, like, to myself, I was like, they're putting rap battles in fucking Valhalla. That's to do with fucking Vikings and all that shit, and they want to put rap battles in. So they're gonna have a Viking called KSI. That was my first thought. Him and Logan are going against each other. But no, I mean, if they've done it in the past, and these ones are just putting it into the game, then alright. Shut up. Never say that again. Never. But yeah, what about you guys? What's your take?
Well, I'm not going to be playing it, so.
Yeah, I'm just playing games.
All right, well, if you would like to watch me play it, make sure you head over to twitch.tv/ShizzleCW, because I'm going to be playing that as soon as it comes out. And that's for your face, Aaron.
Okay.
Especially when we've got 2 weeks left to The Last of Us 2 coming out, my boy. To The Last of Us 2 coming out. And I'm going to be streaming that. And all I'm going to say is, Aaron,
so excited.
You need to book off the 2 days this game comes out.
I can't.
And you're going to have to.
I can't.
But you're going to have to.
All my holidays are already done.
So
and all the other weeks are already booked off by other employees.
Just ask, can you move it back 2 days?
I can't. Everything's already filled in.
Dirty, because I'm going to be streaming this game from start to finish with no stop.
Alright.
Exactly. But yeah, go on. What were you talking about?
I was going to say, there is a game I have been playing. It's a mobile game, but I'll start it off so you can actually get the proper games.
So welcome to our sponsor, Rage Shadow Legends. But
I've been playing basically the mobile version of Mario Kart. It's very addictive. Not gonna lie, it's very, very addictive.
Very addictive.
Not as good as the Wii version because you can't go as fast. Well, without using premium. So I don't think it's good enough for premium.
So just buy it, you stingy fuck.
No.
Can I ask? I'm interested.
Yeah.
Why did you stop playing games? Why? Is it financial reasons or?
I have games. I have a PS2 in the shed. I have the PS3 out in my mum's, but I just lost interest in it. I don't know. Maybe it's because I all my focus sort of just went to movies and TV shows. I just didn't really have anything in me to keep doing that. The only time I like to play games is when I'm playing with somebody else.
Yep, lads, I can confirm it's still in the shed.
Now home to 3 very happy rats.
Yeah, but if I'm playing multiplayer with somebody, I can enjoy it. But
It's
just
right. So go and buy a proper fucking gaming PC, and we'll play Warzone.
Or you could play
No.
Halo.
Fuck Halo. We can play Warzone.
That's that. I don't care about multiplayer on Halo. Halo story.
Yeah, we're not
It's fun
talking
to
about Halo.
watch.
Fuck that. Fuck that.
Right.
I'm talking about Warzone. Go get a PC, and we'll play Warzone. Me, you, and Alex, the best trio going. I carry both of yous.
No.
Yeah, so I think you should get back into gaming, but I also think that you should take the 18th or 19th and 20th off. And yeah.
I can't because I checked today. I thought I had from the 14th to the however many days, 7 days later would land on from the 14th. But I actually booked out from the 7th to the 14th, which were the only days available in June to book off. So that was unfortunate.
So called sick.
I waited to. I can't because I'm kind of on the edge at work. I think where the managers aren't that impressed with me, so I'd say they're looking for any excuse to let me go at this stage.
Oh, well, you gotta get your finger out of your hole.
Oh, believe me, my finger's out of my hole. I'm trying as hard as I can. I'm not living up to their standards.
It's because your last name doesn't end with a Kafka. Anyway. What about Alex? What about Mark?
I'll let Alex go on ahead.
That was great. So what about you, Mark?
Since I've been finished the uni work, I've had some time to play some games.
What games?
So I once again attempted to finish Halo Reach and realized that I did not like the gameplay flow in it at all. So maybe like co-op multiplayer might be the answer to that, but I just think Halo's not for me.
Try the story of the main games.
And I mean, I'll be honest with you, I'm a gameplay focused guy. I play games for the interaction, and the story is the dressing on the proverbial cake, which is the gameplay and interaction. I mean, that's the main point of a game is the gameplay. It's why you don't watch. It's why you don't sit there and watch a movie. You watch a game for the interaction.
Fair enough.
Interactive and stuff like that. And like, maybe it's just old. Maybe I don't like the flow of it. But I just not a big fan of Halo. I might try one, but to be honest with you, there's much better games I could be playing. One of those I'm playing right now. I also tried to play Red Dead, but I just couldn't get back into it. I think like Rockstar's shooting controls and sort of character controls when you're in like a smaller or tight space are like piss poor. It's like your character's fucking drunk while on ice skates. Just the character doesn't do what you want it to do, and it's quite frustrating. Which is a shame because everything else they've created is fantastic, but they just seem to really not be able to get like tight character control down at all, which is weird because horse controls are great, fine, So I dropped Red Dead because of that, kind of disappointing. But then I've started playing The Outer Worlds, which is Obsidian's new RPG that came out last year. So the sort of sequel to Fallout New Vegas. It's basically Fallout New Vegas set in space. And I really like that type of game, like that sort of, I suppose, late noughties, early 2010s type of open world first person, third person RPG, like sort of from Bethesda, back when Bethesda were good. Like, I really like that type of game. Like, I love Fallout 3, I love Fallout New Vegas, Oblivion, Skyrim. I love that type of games, and this is just, I think New Vegas objectively is probably the best of them from an RPG standpoint, and this is just basically New Vegas in space. And it's fantastic on like the first region so far, and I'm absolutely loving it. Like, even though the quests you're doing are kind of basic and the combat's kind of basic, because the writing's so good and like you can use your different skills to influence the conversation. Just that level of interactability in the conversations, and the gameplay is very solid. Like, it's a lot better than New Vegas was back in the day, and I think it's a lot better than anything like Bethesda's putting out now. It's a lot tighter. It's a lot more fun to play. I think it's really good. Quest design is interesting. The world is interesting. The only thing criticism I'd have is that when you level into certain aspects, they really don't have the benefits of like I level my character into like engineering and stuff like that and science because I want them to be like, you know, build shit, and like I thought like, you know, maybe you could build like turrets and like deploy them to fight for you. Like that would be something that I would imagine from like an engineer character, or you know, like a character that's a scientist, but you don't really have that option. And then I think that's kind of a missed opportunity. But I have to look at that in the perspective that, you know, this game was made when they were on quite a tight budget before they were bought by Microsoft and became a Microsoft studio. So it's not really a full AAA game. It's sort of a smaller scope game. So I can sort of forgive them limitations. I suppose it doesn't really innovate. It just does what those sort of games that came out a decade ago, like Fallout New Vegas and Fallout 3 and Skyrim did, but those things exceptionally well. It doesn't innovate, but it does those things exceptionally well, and you know, makes me miss that type of game, you know, back when, you know, Bethesda had their shit together. So yeah, I'm enjoying it, and it's making me excited for the next thing they bring out. I think
it's making you for excited.
It's making me euphorically excited. There you go. But you know, I'm excited to see
much excited.
You know, put in a doggo meme in editing. But yeah, like I'm very much excited for the next project. I don't think they can do the same again. I think the next thing they are going to have to innovate in this space. There's a need for it, you know. You just can't do, you know, what was done 10 years ago very, very well again. You know, I'm sure it'd be, you know, sure if they even did the game would do so well, but I don't think they can do that again. And I hope the next thing they get the budget and the time, which I think they will with Microsoft, to make something like really fucking good. So yeah, that's it. You know, Outer Worlds, playing that. Intend to play it for another while and enjoy the shit out of it.
All right. Well, we still have to hear from Alex as to what he's playing at the minute. So would really love if you participated in today's podcast. What?
Nothing much. Bit of Animal Crossing.
What's that like? I've heard a lot of people get excited about that game.
What about Animal Crossing?
It's okay.
Okay, what about it wants you to play it?
Nothing really.
So why do you play it?
Nice time filler. When you can't be arsed doing anything else.
Okay, so what are you playing when you are arsed playing something else?
Bannerlord.
Bannerlord?
Yeah.
Well, that's great. Yeah.
How's that?
That's so good. Waiting for the next patch, it's still in early it's in beta, so.
It's in beta. So how what's the play like with it?
What?
What's the play like with it?
What's it like to play with it?
Yeah, what's it like to play with it? You know. The odd night you want to play with it.
Okay, that's a competent sentence. What's the play with it?
It's not a fucking dildo, like.
Let's play with it.
You have your microphone out.
You play it.
Dude, your fucking microphone looks like a dildo. So, what's the play like in it? Like, what? Come on, tell me. I don't understand the game. Yeah, like, come on.
Nathan no English.
Like, Nathan no English. Exactly. What you making fun of my English, are you?
Yeah, I am. It's your first fucking language, you daft cunt.
So, like, come on. How do I play it? Elaborate.
Fucking buy it and you play it. Does that answer your fucking
Alright,
question?
okay. So what's the storyline of it?
There is none.
There's
Really,
none. So it's just
more of a sandbox.
okay.
Go collect your army, make a kingdom,
Yeah.
kill some people.
Alright. This is pretty interesting stuff. Keep elaborating, please. Oh. Okay. And for a second there I thought we were doing a podcast.
Sorry, I just have an important question. What's to play with it? I would love to know what is to play with it and how you would initiate that playing with it. I used to work for PC Gamer.
I work for PC Power Picker now. What's the play with?
Taku question I've ever fucking heard in my life. What's the play with?
Alright. Right. It's
Very wow, much play.
It's apology time. I have made a severe lapse in my judgment.
That didn't even make sense.
You opened your mouth, which was a big mistake. We forgive you.
So come on, what's the play with it?
Please answer these all game questions on the stone tablet I've carved them in.
So what's attracted you to play this game?
It's not in previous game.
Well, I didn't hear you. You're talking too low there, sorry. Come on, I know Marcy is in bed. But like, come on PewDiePie, you have to have a soundproof room there.
Well, I barely fucking don't, so fuck off.
Well, come on. So like, what's got you playing this game? The viewers want to know.
I really don't.
What?
Then I can go play the game.
Alright, well, that's about as much information as we're going to get out of Alex tonight. It's been absolutely fuck all. I think we're going to wrap it up for today's episode of the podcast, episode 4. Yeah? Are we good, guys?
Yeah, wrap it up in a fajita. Send it out.
Yeah, so I think actually Aaron's gone, but yeah, we're gonna wrap it up. That's been today's episode of the TinCan Podcast. So thank you for tuning in. Whoever's tuned in and actually watched till the end. I know we've been going on for 2.5 hours. It's a bit ridiculous. We should be quicker. We should, but we'll try and improve on our topic skills and not wasting too much time as Aaron just sits here in a still photo. Oh, and he's gone. Oh, he's back. But yeah, we're just finishing up, Aaron. We're just ending the podcast. This has been it for episode 4.
I made a very poor lapse in judgment. And
what are you on about? I said I've been a very...
Plug in my phone.
What are you on about? I said I made a poor lapse in my judgment.
Yeah, then I made a poor lapse in my judgment. By not charging my phone.
I was making fun of Logan Paul's apology.
Sorry, excuse me. I'd just like to know what's the play with your judgment? I just like to know. And how do you start the play? Like,
oh my god. Us kids. The reason for that question was that just got to me.
Nathan's an alcoholic.
If you happen to be a public bin in the Liverpool catchment area, I will warn you, he will be coming for you.
I will piss on you. Yeah, no, but let's just I'm ending this podcast. It's just the ending has gone to shit. I was already ending it and then Aaron came back because he was lagging out. But yeah, that's it for today's podcast. It's been me, you, and Mark this week. Hopefully we'll have Alex next week. And we shall see you in the next episode of the TinCan Podcast. Bye.
Bye-bye.
What's the play with it?